Hello, this week's show sees a talk to Sammy Giles from Waves of Simplicity, where we get a good in-depth insight into her business, which is fueled by, passionately in fact, by some personal experiences she's had. It's a really good episode, and we get a real good deep insight into Sammy's business and the people she helps. If you enjoy listening to the show, please like, comment, subscribe, share it far and wide. Let's get into it. Right, hello and welcome, Sammy, to episode 3 of the Making Waves podcast. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good, thank you for coming on. So tell our many listeners who you are and what do you do? What's Sammy all about?
So I'm Sammy. I run my own business as a professional declutterer and home organiser in North Yorkshire area.
Yeah.
So I go into houses and people might want me to home stage. They might want me to...
You want you to what, sorry?
Home stage. So,
what's that then?
So if they're putting the property on the market and they're
Yeah.
struggling to sell the property,
Yeah.
I might come in and give it some vavoom.
Ah, okay.
Kind of
Yeah.
bring some order.
Yeah.
Or they might just, be struggling with physical limitation.
Yeah.
And they might not be able to do things that they were able to do before, so they might need me to help decluttering. The office, they might need it organising, and I work also with hoarding behaviours. So
Yeah.
it's quite a wide range of clients that I have.
Yeah, and is any particular area where it's the biggest percentage of your business, or is it just so random and...
I would say the majority is hoarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just,
So that's like your specialist.
That's my specialist area.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there struggling that need some help. So.
Yeah. I suppose it's something that's been brought to press quite a bit in recent years with like documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, it has. It's definitely more out there, and it's just been classified as of last year as a mental health disorder. So that's brilliant. It's really bringing it out for people to feel like they can, it's not so taboo anymore.
Yeah, which I think that there was a documentary maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I saw a bit of it, and it was a bit like Undateables, really, where they put a bit of a comical side to it, which I'm all for a comedy, but I think I was a bit uneasy about it, where they didn't actually go that much into the mental health side of it. It was just like...
It's hard with this stuff because sometimes the TV presenters are trying to get people to watch the TV, and it's made a bit sort of...
It's more entertainment.
Yeah, and it's a lot more than that. People are really struggling.
Yeah, so I suppose, at least they made people more aware of it.
Yeah.
But then people such as your good self are now coming in to help them.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
good. Yeah. So what? It's obviously quite a unique business. Mm-hmm. Well, not unique. Maybe there'll be other people obviously doing it. Quite niche, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. So what sort of led you down that into that path then?
A few things really. I've got personal experience of a family member who struggles with hoarding.
Yeah.
So obviously, living with that, I wanted to help people who have lived with that and who are struggling themselves. So I've got a lot of understanding around it in order to help them and others. And I've done a lot of travelling in my younger years in a lot of third world countries. So, that was when I was at my happiest, certainly, not in this material world, and it made me realise how happy living with fewer possessions can really make you.
I think there's a lot to be said about that, and we just kind of we touched on it before we went live here, like saying that it's like unnatural for us to have like tech and cameras on us and So you said you're happiest when you was travelling. Was that when you were volunteering helping others?
I was actually for quite a few years.
Yeah.
I've travelled all over the world, but primarily my best times was in third world countries, so like Africa, India, Southeast Asia, where
because you were helping, and because it was sort of like not Western, I suppose, like like material possession.
Definitely, yeah.
So would you consider yourself a minimalist then?
I like to live simply.
Yeah.
And I do like order, but if you came into my home, it's not immaculate. It's just, you need what you need, and everything else just kind of is in the background.
Noise.
Yeah. So, but I do try and, your money can be spent on experiences rather than stuff and things.
Yeah. I like that, and I saw something where I think it must have been around Christmas time, but it was relevant to anything where people said, I can't remember what it was. I saw something, and the point it was making was, don't buy gifts like physical gifts. Buy experiences.
Yeah, that's nice.
It could well have even been the first one of your Facebook post. Maybe now I've said that.
It might have been.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh wow. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Well, there you go.
But a lot of charities, a lot of people do that. So
yeah.
It's great. It really is. It's good.
But that when I clearly did remember the millions of like Facebook posts we'll see in a year. That one did.
Yeah.
Like just for the record, that wasn't previously discussed before we. But there we go. That's that.
I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah. Well, there we go. It works. It works. You sharing that because it did stick with me, because it's like you hear people in town, they're like, how do you buy somebody something who has everything? It's not like go and spend some time with them where it might be like you and that person, or go and do something. So I like that stuck with me, and I guess it does tie in with what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're about. So a mixture of personal family experience and like your own travelling thing.
Yeah,
so the travelling side of it then, was that I don't know, like there's the old cliche, did you go travelling to find yourself? Were you going travelling to do that, or I don't know what inspired the travelling? Have you always had a need, a thirst for?
Oh yeah, I've always had itchy feet. I think as soon as I left school, I always wanted to just explore the world.
Yeah.
And see what was out there. So that's what I kind of did. And
what, straight from school?
In and out.
In and
out, and then and it hasn't really stopped. I've got a little boy now, so I like to bring him out with me, and I've seen quite a bit of the world already. So
he comes with you.
Yeah, he comes with me. Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah. So no, that's all good stuff. So what's next then on the travel plans?
I would like to take him to Croatia with me, just to have a little.
What do you do? Are you sort of ticking countries off, or are you revisiting places, or? Yeah,
I guess so. When I was travelling the first time, I met a lot of people that lived abroad, and I made a lot of friends as I was travelling.
Yeah.
So, I'll go and visit them in different countries, stay with them, and they've now got the children of their own. So, and with my business, it just kind of, gives me that flexibility. So I can take him with me places, and I'm not sort of tied into a rigid set of hours where I have to be, 9 to 5 here and there. So it's my own sort of.
Yeah.
We can just enjoy our lives, really.
Yeah. So it fits in with your passion for travel.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, like the quality time with your son as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So I guess the next point I was sort of going to make and kind of touch on there was like what obviously we understand a little bit into like how and why you got into like the decluttering.
Yeah.
But like self-employment specifically, what triggered that move? Like rather than sort of going to work for somebody doing decluttering, like what made you want to do it for yourself?
I've always, in every role I've had, work-wise, I've always helped people. It's always been a role where I've helped others. And I think with all the experience and sort of training, if you like, that I was doing about hoarding and all this kind of stuff, and just the way I like to live myself, I sort of touched on it a little bit when I lived in London. When I came back here and had my little boy, I just thought, I could make a business out of this. And although I'm not part of, I do work independently, it's my own business. I'm part of a bigger organisation called Ep.3, which is the organisation for professional organisers and declutterers in the UK. Yeah. So, it is a real thing. And, so I'm part of that. And
what does that entail then? Do you meet up regularly or?
Yeah, absolutely. They have big seminars and whatnot in London and all over the world actually. Decluttering's actually a big thing in the likes of America and different countries. And we're a bit later to jump on board, but we have jumped on board and it is getting bigger and it's brilliant. Yeah. So I love it.
Good
I love it.
I suppose that's what makes you tick then, the actual walking away knowing you've made a difference to that person's life.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just helping people who are struggling, with clutter and just, sometimes I'll go into homes and the rooms aren't fit for purpose anymore. It just gets overwhelming and people don't know where to turn for the help, and there's, they might be embarrassed about it, or they might not have a family member or friend even to help them, and that's where I come in and we work through things together, and we sort out their items together. I don't just go in and kind of sort it out for them. It's very much, I work together with my client.
Because I suppose if a client's
stuff, isn't it?
feeling like that, they don't want someone barging in and like, we're going to bin this.
No. And, we all, I have various charities or organisations, a lot of people that haven't maybe got the money to buy these things, where we kind of, they might choose to donate them to any items that they don't want anymore, recycle where possible, and just kind of give them to people in need. And it often helps people let go if they know that it's their stuff's going to a good cause. Going somewhere worthwhile.
So it's helping, it's helping more than one person then as well.
Definitely, definitely.
So is anybody else around here doing this kind of thing? So you kind of, you're the go-to guy on
decluttering. Absolutely. It's just I've sort of, for me, a challenge was sort of getting my word out there that I exist, because there's lots of cleaners, there's lots of people come in and clean and tidy, but it's a bit more than that. It's a bit different, like you say, what I offer. So
like on the surface of it, people will instantly think like cleaner. Type business,
and I'm not a home clearance company. There's a lot of that about as well. It's quite different.
Because there's more of a human side to it than the physical. Let's go in and clean an house.
Definitely.
So how did you go about? So that's obviously a challenge where it's a relatively unheard of area. How did you go about getting yourself out there? I know you've done some radio shows.
I have, not very good at them, but I do go out there. I try and put myself out there because I want to help people. So that's I just it's important to get my word out there. But I have been approached by radio. Obviously I set up on the internet, the Facebook, the Instagrams, things like that, and I've got my own website, Waves of Simplicity, and people, it's working. People are finding out about me, and
word of mouth for the
it's brilliant. Definitely. I work alongside people that do struggle as well with mental health difficulties, so different areas. I've been trying to push my word out there. I'm doing my best to get it out, and just I'm here.
So I suppose it's like it's another sort of double-edged sword where you're kind of promoting yourself as a business, but also promoting the issue as well.
Definitely.
So it's not just it's kind of different to us, like as Mars and Brothers as print providers, because there's no, although there is a touch of humour, like when we're helping people brand up and stuff, there is that side, but it's not a real issue, I suppose, is it? Making sure your brand's on point. It's important, and it helps people. No, but compared to
I know what you mean.
Where if people meet like hoarders, it is a mental health issue. Did you mention earlier
it's classified mental health illness now. So
when did that happen?
Last year.
So it's so new. So there's been so many years of it not being classed as a mental health issue. So there's all them people suffering then, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely, and afraid to come forward because they probably think that I'm just going to go in the home and start moving and touching the stuff and getting rid of it, and it's not like that at all. So.
Oh, fair, absolutely. Like, thank goodness there's people like you doing it. That's all. That's all I could say. So, I guess obviously there'd be difficulties of doing your job with it being so sensitive, but on your business side of it, what going back into the self-employment side of it, what are the positives and negatives then for you of doing? Obviously we touched on the positives. You can take your boy travelling and you've got that freedom. I suppose. Is there anything else in there like positives and negatives?
Doing what I love.
You can see absolutely that you've got a passion for. For, in fact, I knew that from like day one because.
I love it, and but of course it's flexible, and it's wonderful having that flexibility. So I kind of work when I was around, me, him, my family. Challenges, I rely on other people to pay me so I can pay myself. Sometimes that can be an issue for me, the invoices and kind of getting on top of that, but with people, but and obviously like because I love it so much, as you do your own business as well, you're putting more into it and you want to, because you want it to be good and you want to, so I'm working on a night sometimes, or like just extras that I might be going on training in various places, or I try and go above and beyond to just make it really good, make it the best I can for people and have the right training in place and just keep updated with all that, and find out about what people need, in this area. So so your working week goes well beyond like 36 and a half hours. And there's a lot of like hidden stuff in there where you're not necessarily out on jobs, I suppose, but you're still ticking over in the background.
Promoting the issue, doing the background, doing the paperwork, and like I say, you need to get paid for that service essentially, and keeping the cash flow coming in. But that's something, I suppose, you're not when you are working for other people, you don't worry about that. You get paid end of month, so you're not sort of prepared or trained for like chasing people up for money And there's always a bit of a thing around money anyway. I don't know, is it a British thing or?
Do other people feel like that as well? Do you feel like that sometimes as
well? Yeah, it's like it's like, I don't know, we've had people in here designing, and it's like I've designed it with them. It's hard to say like charge them for that hour, or just, I don't know. It's always an awkward conversation. But I suppose even more so when it's such a. I suppose everyone would love you'd love to go and help and give you services for free, but you need to make a living. So I guess it's there's that side of it. How do you go around it then? Like when, like chasing up payments and just
after
hope for best.
I mean, everybody touch hairy wood. So they have, it's been fine. And I think people are just glad of my service, to be honest. But I obviously, if I was working in a company, like on the 31st, that's when you kind of get paid and you don't have to think about it. Whereas when you have your own business, you have to do your books and you're kind of thinking, right, okay, am I up to date with this?
And there's a time to that as well. And it's and I don't know if it's like, for me, it's when I have to branch off and do that side of it, I just suddenly my mind just goes absolutely numb because I'm away from. Like, I want to be out like talking to people about like their businesses and what we can do with our product and service to help them, and then like going away and seeing it improve. That's where I want to be at. Then when I have to branch off and do the account, the books and the account, and I get fed. My accountants are great, by the way, and it's like they do a great job, but they're obviously passionate about that, helping people tick making sure people's like affairs are in order. But wow, like me personally, it's a big negative, and it's an area that you're not naturally trained in to begin with. If you go into business and you can see why, like, I don't know, people struggle with that side of it, like having done it for a bit. But there's obviously help out there with it, isn't there? But there's a difference between bookkeeping and accountancy as well, I guess. Two different things. You do it all. You look after you.
I do. I do have an accountant as well.
Yeah.
So, he keeps me in order.
Yeah. So there's some help there, but it's just you still need to process things to give to him, and that's and it takes time, more time than you think. You might think, oh, I'll do it well. I'll spend half an hour on that. And it's like 3 hours, like sorting receipts out and
Well,
anyway, enough about accountancy. Let's move on. But it is a definite. Most people I speak to, it is a side.
Yeah.
Where it's a definite flaw in the self-employed thing, and the time as well. All them hidden hours. I wish I'd have had some sort of counter on the hours I've been putting in. Yeah. But you can't. But then you can't put a value on it. It's you live and breathe when you're self-employed. It's you. Like Waves of Simplicity, your brand, it is you. So
it's important.
Yeah.
So,
and you do what needs to be done to make it work.
You do.
So I guess the future then. Where are you going to? I like to ask this question.
Yeah.
I remember when we were younger, my mum gave us a list of questions and we laminated them, and it was like, where are you going to be in 10 years time type thing. I don't know where they are. Mum will have them somewhere. If you're listening, Mum, dig out the laminated.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I think I said something about driving a Corsa, and I did, really, with my first car.
Dream came true.
So I ticked that.
Yeah.
I don't know after that. I don't know if I'd have said, go and be a printer. I don't know. Football was probably in there somewhere. But I just dream now by wearing a football shirt. Pretend. So yeah, it's like, I'm not going to hold you to it, but what are your plans? What do you think? Where would you like to see Waves of Simplicity?
Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Keep raising more awareness. And I'd like to. I do counselling, so I'm enrolled on a counselling degree. So because a lot of the people, not all of them, a lot of my clients do struggle with mental health issues.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to work with that really and have that counselling support in place now it kind of links in quite well with what I do. So
yeah, so I guess you kind of do it to an extent anyway, but do you need the qualification to call yourself a counsellor?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, people. I guess I act as a counsellor at the minute without actually being a counsellor because it's very personal. It's a really personal sort of job. The people I meet are fantastic, and we bond closely throughout our journey together. It can be quite a close, personal journey. So people do open up, and I do get to create that wonderful rapport with people. But I just feel like alongside that, it would be really beneficial to kind of offer that service as well. So that's where I'm going. That's my path at the minute.
So it's like a natural thing to do. But
Yeah.
but is it a degree then?
It is, yeah.
How are you managing to do that alongside?
Well, it's I'll be doing it on a night. I'm studying very hard. So, so yeah,
Pile
it's
of
juggling
textbooks.
it. Yeah. And so, you know, my best friend is actually a counsellor as well, so I might get a little bit of help from her.
Yeah.
You have to cheat a little bit. But yeah, I'd also like to do a little book as well.
All right.
So that is, you know, alongside it, just with some you know, not quite Marie Kondo, maybe not the folding part of it all. But yeah, so I'd like to do that. And again, it's just about, I just want to help people.
Yeah. So the book would be aimed at, is the word hoarders? or what's the...
Yeah, I guess no, it wouldn't. I wouldn't be so specific with the hoarders. I suppose it would just be, you know, because there are so many people struggling on so many different levels. You know, busy mums, busy families, you know, teachers in offices. It's just stuff, and it just mounts up, and you know they can't face it. So it's people in every walk of life. That might need help. So I'm aiming it to everybody. So I keep making notes as I go along my journey, and I'm hoping to somehow wrap it up and put it into some sort of book to just, you know.
So what is it like? Going to be like tips?
Top tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit about my journey and, you know, just creating awareness and what they can do.
I think that's a really good idea, actually. Yeah. Really good idea.
Nice.
Especially like say when it is a subject what needs more.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. So obviously you've seen a lot of the world, worked for people, worked for yourself, helped a lot of people. You seem very, very happy where you're at. But if you could go back and give, and I've been asking this to everybody, but it's kind of it's like a double question where I say, what piece of advice would you give your younger self? But I also ask, like, what was the best piece of advice you've been given? So, but it could kind of be the same thing, I guess. But
they kind of are the same. Like the answers are kind of similar. My parents just said, you know, they always said, as long as you put your mind to it, you can do anything, you know, and it's really true. And I guess if you're doing what you love, which is what you put your mind to. If you're doing what you love, you never feel like you're working a day in your life. I do work really hard. Yeah. But I don't feel like I'm working because it's just, I found what I should be doing in life. So that's what...
But you found that through your experience of life, I guess.
Yeah.
It's obviously not just travel.
Definitely.
Personal experience as well.
Yeah.
So the advice would be like, ride the wave of simplicity.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I like that. Yes.
You could almost call your business it.
Funny that. I might change that. Yeah. Yes.
No, it's good. So I suppose like you'll be teaching your son that philosophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'll grow up around it as well, clearly. Well, he already is. He's off travelling with you.
Yeah. Just having a fun time, hopefully. Yeah. More emphasis on interaction with others as opposed to buying the latest iPhone and all that kind of thing. He's only 3, so that's further down the line, I hope.
I'm glad he's not asked you for the latest iPhone.
Not yet.
That'll be next birthday.
Yeah.
So does that come from your parents then? Did it? That you... There's something in there. What came from your parents?
Which ride them?
Where you say, because you sort of said it was always taught to me, go and be like true to yourself, find who you are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy, not what other people want for you.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, and I think it took. So when did that? Have you always had that in you then? To do?
I guess so. They've always encouraged me really to just. They've never pressured me.
Yeah.
Into a certain area. Like, I always sort of just rode the wave, like you said. Just kind of, you know. I've always been caring, and so they encouraged me to do roles like that, which I have done.
Yeah.
You know, over the years, but but just do what makes you happy, and just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for that.
Yeah, I think
you
that
get one chance, don't you? So.
You do. You
do.
I think just like listening to you talk there, and like thinking of my part of that life when you was off travelling, and I think there was no specific piece of advice, but I was surrounded by like parents who were in 9 to 5. It was all, specifically my job, it was like, go and get a job at Pindon, you'd be set up for life.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have mentioned the company name there, but sold it. but at that time it was like it was go and do that, and so you're kind of brainwashed, I guess, in a way to go and do. I was always interested in print, which I've touched on before as a kid when we were printing off menus and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was like when we first got family computer and all that lot, and like I was designing stuff at work experience, but I guess you were kind of led into like go to the company where you can be for the rest of your life and you don't have to move. Looking back, it probably created me an absolute headache. Now, but I suppose I've gone through that. It took a lot of pain working somewhere like that, and a son to be born for that penny to drop of just go and be yourself. There's a lyric in a song that I like called "Don't Forget Who You Are," and it's like, I think you need to know who you are.
Will you sing it?
No. We'll do this over a beer next time, and I'll sing it. but I think you need to know who you are.
Yeah.
Before you forget who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be an advice to give to younger people. Like, luckily you sort of felt that. Like, I think it's that leaving school period where you kind of funneled out of school. I think that was vital.
Yeah.
That was a vital thing, because like a lot of kids were like funneled into sixth form, even though to tick a box for the government, so the state in higher education, they didn't necessarily know what they wanted to do yet. So the true advice would be to like go and live and find yourself, or if you want to go and work for a bit, go and work for a bit, or like, don't be fixed down. Me knowing what I know now, wouldn't go back and into like a 3-year apprenticeship, and I'd go and do the apprenticeship, and but then it happened so many times. Like when I was drunk, like doing I'd always have that wake up to a laptop like on Australia and like print jobs in Australia, but then I'd never do it because I was always like, I'll stay here and the money will get better and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was always, there was that. But then like the longest, I branched out eventually and like went to go and work for a good company, and they taught me.
What was in London, wasn't it?
Bicester. Yeah, down south. Yeah. It's all London, down
there. It is, yeah.
Everything below Birmingham is London, no. But they took me as a raw printer off a shop floor and like taught me how to, a lot really, more than the training manual probably suggests. And so I think it took that and then the son being born for it to drop with me. So a long time. Be the same for a lot of people. And you're just lucky if you get it early.
Yeah, or at all.
Or at all. Yeah. Well, I touched on that as well. You see a lot of people whether they're unhappy about something but they don't know what as well. Like it's
or they do and they daren't make the jump, because starting your own business, it's a little bit scary. Yeah. Because you're on your own and you've still got to make ends meet. And so you're worried about maybe leaving your good job in the NHS or. What was it called? Bicester. Yeah. This, that and the other. And you're thinking, if I come out of that, what if it doesn't work and I've left a good paid job? And there is that kind of thing. But I would say just jump. Just do it.
Yeah, and something that, like, which I've found, when I left the print company to go down south, my girlfriend was in tears and didn't want me to do it, and the family were like, "What the bloody hell are you doing? You're leaving a good job." Yeah. I cut my salary in half to go and do it. Yeah. But at that point, I said to myself, like, what is the worst that can actually happen? Like I'm not gonna sort of die as a direct result of going to do something different, and like we've got good friends and family around us. We're never going to be like, touch wood, like on the street we live. Like, and you step back and think like we've got a good life. Like it still will be. Like it's hard, but it's, I don't know. There's a stigma, isn't there? There's a bit of society in there, I think, and which creates this. There's a pressure, isn't there?
But you did make the jump, and look how happy you are now.
Yeah,
so it's all worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I like, I'm a really, really, really old man. I just feel it. I'm tired with a 2-year-old. But I still only 30.
That makes me an old lady then.
No. So I think there's some, like I think we touched. We could go on, I guess, but what I don't want it to be is like making waves, deep cuts, where you can go really deep.
Yeah.
But I think there's some like for people out there listening, there's some real good.
Hope so.
Good insight there into. Obviously, you're ticking a big, massive box of helping others, but turning it into a living for yourself as well. Mm-hmm. So like it's like rewarding in more than one way.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for those out there who have got how long are we on? 35 minutes in and are still listening.
Thanks for hanging in.
Thanks for sticking on in there. How can they find Waves of Simplicity?
So I'm wavesofsimplicity.co.uk. I'm out there on Facebook, my website, and Instagram.
And Instagram, we'll link Waves of Simplicity onto this post when we launch it as well. So
if you do type declutterers in Scarborough, I do come up as well.
Google search declutterers in Scarborough. So you bang at the top.
I bang at the top.
No, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, Waves of Simplicity is right there.
Yeah. So go and do it. Yeah, go and give Sammy a like and a follow and help a very good Scarborough business who were making waves. That was really bad, that one. We'll end it there, shall we?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. See you later.